Get ready, because we're doing a deep dive today into how AI is changing Hollywood.
Yeah, this is this is a big one. It's really changing everything.
It really is, and it's interesting because Hollywood's always been kind of obsessed with AI, even before it was really a thing.
Right, like Metropolis way back or
Yeah.
Blade Runner.
Yeah, exactly. Those were stories. But 2023 felt like those stories were starting to come true.
Yeah, 2023 was a huge wake-up call for a lot of people in the industry, especially during the Hollywood strikes.
The strikes were huge news, obviously, but I think for a lot of people it was kind of hard to wrap their heads around what they were really about beyond, actors and writers wanting more money.
Right, it was about so much more than that.
There were definitely parallels to the 2007 writers' strike there.
For sure, both were about how technology changes things and how people in the industry get paid for their work.
In 2007, it was all about streaming and new media.
And in 2023, it was AI that kind of threw everything up in the air, particularly this thing called LLMs, large language models.
LLMs. Okay, I
Yeah.
remember hearing that term, but to be honest, I don't really get what it is or why screenwriters should be worried about it.
I get it. LLMs, it's a mouthful. Basically, it's like ChatGPT. Have you heard of that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so ChatGPT, it's trained on tons and tons of text data, and it can write like a person's scripts, song lyrics, you name it.
And screenwriters are seeing this and thinking, wait a minute, is this going to replace me?
Like that Black Mirror episode. Joan is awful. It's scary relevant.
Oh my gosh, that episode messed with me and it felt like it was becoming reality.
I know, right? It tapped into this fear of being replaced by an algorithm. And it wasn't just writers. Actors felt it too.
Totally. SAG-AFTRA, the actors union, they went on strike too, and one of their big issues was digital double.
Which is creepy, right?
It is creepy, and it's not even like special effects, it's something totally different.
It's way deeper than special effects. We're talking about AI making digital copies of actors,
Yeah.
and sometimes they don't even know about it.
And that just seems like a huge problem.
Absolutely imagine showing up to work and you've been replaced by a digital version of yourself.
Like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. And it's not just about it being creepy either. It's about actors losing work, especially background actors.
Right, their likeness, their image is used to make something that could actually cost them jobs.
It's wild, and that's what SAG-AFTRA was fighting back against. They wanted rules about how their digital likeness could be used, and they wanted to be paid for it.
Yeah, and it all ties into that Black Mirror episode you mentioned. It got people talking about what happens when AI can just like copy your creative work. Who owns that?
It's mind-blowing and kind of terrifying, honestly.
It's a huge shift. And yeah, it's kind of scary, but there's another side to AI in Hollywood.
Oh.
A less scary side, maybe even a good side. It's about preserving things and being creative in new ways.
Okay, I like the sound of that. Tell me more about this other side.
Well, one of the really cool things is film restoration.
Film restoration.
Using AI to bring old movies back to life, make them look and sound amazing.
Like that Beatles documentary, Get Back on Disney+.
Exactly.
They used AI to fix the audio, and it was incredible. I felt like I was right there in the studio with them.
That's what's so cool about it. You can hear every instrument, every voice so clearly. It's like you're rediscovering these classic films.
And then there was that new Beatles song that came out now and then. Was that AI too? How can you have a new song with John Lennon?
It's pretty amazing. They took this old demo of Lennon's from like the 70s, and they used AI to clean up the recording and isolate his vocals.
Wow, so it's not a brand new song exactly, but it's as close as you can get to new Beatles music in this day and age, and it's all thanks to AI.
Exactly, and it makes you think, what else can we do with this technology?
Right. What about lost films or damaged recordings? It's like this whole world of possibilities.
It really is. It's like a gift to artists and audiences.
It's like we're about to enter a whole new era of art, but with a lot of questions too.
Yeah, you can't just ignore the ethical stuff.
Yeah, how can you not? It's a big deal. And the SAG-AFTRA strike made everyone take it seriously.
Totally. They really put it front and center.
You mentioned earlier that their new agreement actually includes some rules about AI. What did they end up getting?
Well, first, they made sure that actors have to know about it and agree to have their digital likeness used. They can't just use it without asking.
That seems fair.
Right. And they also got guarantees that they'll be paid fairly if their digital likeness gets used.
So it's about making sure there are rules and protections in place, not just saying no to AI altogether.
Exactly. It's about figuring out how to use this technology ethically and responsibly because it's here to stay.
It feels like a turning point, honestly, like we're figuring this out in real time.
It is, and the whole way we make movies, even the way we think about storytelling, is changing.
So where do we even go from here? Are we headed toward a world where movies are completely made by computers? Where you can't even tell what's real anymore?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? No one really knows for sure, but we're definitely at a crossroads.
So what can we even do about it? It feels so big.
We can be aware. We can pay attention. Look at the credits when you're watching a movie. See who's doing what. Ask questions. How was this made? Was AI involved?
It's like taking back some of that control, right? We're not just passively watching whatever's put in front of us.
Exactly. The more we know, the more we can demand from the people making these films.
This has been really eye-opening, honestly. AI is changing everything, isn't it?
It is, but at the end of the day, Hollywood is still about telling stories. That's what it all comes down to.
And whether those stories are told with cameras or computers or some crazy combination of both, it's up to us to keep thinking critically about what we're watching and how it got made.
Exactly. So next time you're watching a movie, ask yourself, was that real or was that AI? You might be surprised by the answer.
That's a great place to leave it. Thanks for diving into this with me. It's been fascinating.
Anytime. Thanks for having me.